So here's a vid I've been wanting to do for a while after the success of the Telltale Batman games, and yeah, I kind of wanted to do this as a vid and talk about all the other franchises Telltale Games could potentially do. You know, there's so many other franchises you could easily see being made into a Telltale game. You know, they've done Fables. They did, of course, recently was Batman. Before that was Walking Dead. So yeah, the possibilities are endless. So here's a few franchises I'd love to see get a Telltale game, and I would absolutely love to see that. You know, see these and kind of talk about why I would kind of see these franchises get games. Now, the big one is, first and foremost, you can see right here, Star Trek. Star Trek would work so well as a Telltale game. I think, honestly, Star Trek would make an excellent Telltale game. I think that it could easily become it's an easy thing to do, because a lot of the stuff about Star Trek, all of the Star Trek series, is that it's all debating, as well as, you know, it's dialogue heavy, as much as it is action. So, honestly, you could see... this easily works for Telltale games of having either, you know, a Star Trek game where you go on a mission as either, you know, I don't know where you could put this, like maybe, you know, you could do TOS, TNG, or, you know, Abrams series. Possibly, if it was going to be a Star Trek series, it would probably be the Abrams universe. But yeah, I digress. I think it would be cool to see a Star Trek Telltale game, because again, Telltale games are very dialogue-centric, and everything depends on what you say. That's very much like what it is for the Star Trek universe, where every little thing a person says could either help or hurt an entire civilization. That is very the definition of what the Telltale games are very much like. And yeah, you can have definitely a science fiction type mystery. It all depends on what, you know, what universe you could do. I mean, could you put it in TOS? And I know, yeah, TNG's not really a different universe, it's different timeline, but still, you could have TOS or set it in TNG. I would like to set it in TNG. If I could do a Telltale game on Star Trek, it would be, I know I'm using an image of the TOS TOS group, but honestly, I would like to do one on TNG, because that one's where the dialogue is really needed. That's where that's where a lot of, you know, just words alone can either save or hurt a civilization, like I said. So that would be the big thing here. With this, what was I going with this? With this series, is that it could easily be, you know, you could either help or hurt an entire civilization, and yeah, it would be kind of fun to play with all the dialogue between all the characters. I think that would be a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely a Star Trek I would absolutely love to see a Star Trek series, a Telltale game set in the Star Trek universe. Next up would be Evil Dead. Evil Dead would be awesome. I don't know if you could play, you know, if I would do a game with, if I could, I would have a game with Ash in it. It would be fun to have Bruce Campbell as a character and have it set in like Evil Dead as a retelling of Evil Dead 2, or have it like it's kind of like the Evil Dead remake, you know, the Evil Dead film, where basically it's a group of teens going to the cabin. So maybe set it in the same universe, but with different characters. That could work better rather than try to do a retelling of Evil Dead 1 and 2. Just have it kind of centered around in the same universe, maybe a different cabin, or how the Necronomicon got to the cabin. Just something like that, or something to that degree. But I would like to do something like it's set in that continuity, and then you just play as a different character during, you know, when all of this shit is really hitting the fan. So that could be a lot of fun to really play with, is do something of that degree, and have a lot of gore and blood. Yeah, just a lot of fun with it. Anyway, so yeah, let's talk. There's one for Evil Dead. I think that would be really cool. I think it would be also really awesome to see maybe, let's see, I'm trying to remember the other one. Oh, since they've already done Batman, how about The Question? I mean, yeah, The Question would work as like a cool noir type story, And yeah, I mean, they've already done a detectives type story with The Wolf Among Us, and as well as, the Batman game, so it would make sense to do, The Question. Again, The Question is really a cool story where you can play as Vic Sage or even Renee Montoya and focus on a story where you are trying to figure out this entire, this very big conspiracy theory-esque case and try to figure out how it's all connected. Just through, and again, Vic Sage is very, a very detective, very noir type style story you can do with that. I think there's a lot of potential for something of that degree working. So yeah, definitely The Question would be a cool idea. I think another interesting idea to go with Telltale is in the Alien universe. Yeah, you could have it set somewhere in the Alien continuity, or after Aliens, or in that time. Not sure where, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Not sure where I would put it, but definitely in the same universe as Alien, and maybe either have it as, like, you're a captain in a colonial marine squad, and every decision you make on this planet you're on, full of xenomorphs, that, that's going to get you and your team either killed, or you're going to save as many as you can. Kind of like Until Dawn in a way, but a little more action-packed. A little more, not to say Until Dawn had action, I'm just saying, like, more shooting. More, very much like what Colonial Marines was supposed to be. Oh, god damn it, Colonial Marines. I'm talking about the game, of course. Anyway, so with that said, what else would I like, to see at that? The other way you could do Alien is possibly around the nature of, you play as a scientist or a low-level member of the Weyland Corporation, and you're delivering a package, not knowing that's a xenomorph egg, and yeah, you're stuck on a ship with just one xenomorph, similar in the form of Alien Isolation, but yeah, it's just you and the xenomorph, and you're trying to survive, or something like that. That would be cool. So either like a scientist or a low-level member, like a guy working on the docks, or, Colonial Marine, or something to that degree. I think that would be a lot of fun to really play with. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Something to that degree, playing with that. I'm really sorry, I'm just kind of stumbling through my words here. Not a good day for me. Anyway, trying to remember what else I wanted to do. I would love to see get a Telltale game. I would have said Gravity Falls, but unfortunately, Disney has put the kibosh on any new Disney game, on any other Disney games. Yeah, for some reason they put the kibosh on all other Disney games except for Star Wars games. Apparently, that's still a moneymaker. So yeah. But Disney Interactive is officially gone. There's going to be no more Disney games. But yeah, I think, honestly, hypothetically, Gravity Falls could really work. Just a fun survival horror type story. And again, every little choice Dipper and Mabel made caused a big problem. Either saved someone or caused a big problem. So yeah, definitely a Gravity Falls Telltale game would be awesome. Unfortunately, we're probably never going to get that. Yeah, thanks, Disney. Anyway, so I think another cool Telltale game, speaking of Star Wars, would be a game centered around in the Star Wars universe. I think a Star Wars Telltale game would be awesome. You could do it in so many different ways, too. You could either focus on Luke and the rest of the main cast, trying to, going on a rebel mission to stop the Empire, or, you could play as Luke doing Jedi training, or even play as Vader. Vader hunting down Jedi in between episodes 3 and 4, something like that. Have Vader and a group of stormtroopers hunting down Jedi, or you could have it that you could play as a stormtrooper, and every choice you make either makes you loyal to the Empire, or you can go turncoat and become a rebel. Yeah, something like that. Like, you could do kind of like a Kyle Katarn type thing. I think that would be really cool, of doing that kind of story of where you start out as a stormtrooper, and every action you make will either, get you to stay like, no, the Empire is strong, we can be the Empire, or you can do like you can do other things to make you be like, I don't know if the Empire is right for me, I think I'm going to go with the Rebellion. That could be a cool way to do it. It's just like, yeah, every choice centers you on where your loyalties lie. But yeah, start as a stormtrooper or something, or yeah, stormtrooper into that degree. That would be, I think that would be really cool. Anyway, so where there was one more game I would have really liked to, there was one more Telltale idea I had, but I'm really starting to forget it, unfortunately. It's really blanking from my mind. Shit, I can't remember. I honestly can't remember what it is. Well, Telltale, since they've already done, Telltale Games, now I remember, since Telltale's done Batman, why not go over to the Marvel side and do, like, a Daredevil story? Yeah, have Daredevil in his, like, kind of like how in the Batman game, it focused on, what was it, the early days of Batman, on some of his earlier years, but this time around, you focus on Daredevil in his early years, fighting Kingpin, or, have some costume villains like Mr. Fear or the Jester in there somewhere. Something like that to that degree, like early days of Daredevil, or do like a video game, like a Telltale version of Born Again. That would actually be really awesome. So yeah, there you go, guys. Those are pretty much all my ideas for what series and franchises should get Telltale games. So yeah, if I did not answer, tongue-tied again. So you guys tell me, what franchises and series would you like to see get Telltale games? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.